Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys. So, as you know, the new Roni is coming out. So, we have lots to talk about. Well, starting tomorrow. But in the meantime, we have a lot to talk about, anyways. We have Vicky Gumbelson chiming in on the Tamara Judge lawsuit, Jim Bellino chiming in on the Tamara Judge lawsuit. We have Brandi Glanville, who lawyers dropped her. There's a lot happening in the Bravo world. So before we jump in, as you guys know, if you haven't already, go ahead and pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Right now, I'm working on doing a live for tomorrow for Roni, so I'll keep you guys posted. And then, of course, we're going to have Salt Lake City, another hot, messy topics. It's going to be great. So I say, let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Here we go. I'm thinking about this and I'm like, what is the best way to approach this Brandi stuff? It's kind of, I actually feel really bad for her. She's screwed unless somebody else takes this case on. But let's just kind of dissect it together and then we'll tell you. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Brandi Glanville has just lost her legal representation amid her ongoing claims against Andy Cohen and her lawsuit threat against Bravo. So, just to kind of remind you guys what happened, and these were multiple, I'm trying to say like I'm not so surprised. There were multiple lawsuits. There was the one with, I believe his name was Marco from Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip at Dorinda's house. I think it was season 2 Ex Wives Club. And she pulled off his shirt or whatever, and he was saying that he felt violated. So that was a lawsuit. But then this one with Caroline Manzo, she said that Brandi pushed herself on top of her and touched her in places that she shouldn't have touched her and was kissing her inappropriately. That was a lawsuit. And then Brandi ended up showing her face, which seemed like a little different. How do you say that with grace? Seemed different. And she said that was an effect of the lawsuits. So what is she said that I'm out of work. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to pay my bills. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to take care of my kids. Yeah, thank God for Eddie and Leanne Rhymes. Now, back to it. Months after the 51-year-old Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum accused Andy Cohen, well, of sexual harassment, stating that he had allegedly asked her to watch him have sex with Kate Chastain and suggested that she was held hostage amid production on Ultimate Girls Trip, Brandi confirmed her lawyers have cut ties. This is what she said. I mean, you cannot write this shit. I guess I'm doing that now. After a year of telling me how rich I was about to be and how strong my case against Bravo is, my lawyers have decided that I now don't have a case and they cut ties with me. Hashtag paid off, maybe? Allegedly? Okay. So back to it. Now, with that, Brandy's tweet came just a few weeks after shocking details about a supposed text message between her and Andy and a very not great video of Andy reportedly propositioning her. That was also made public. But as Beverly Hills fans may have seen, Brandi accused Andy of sexual harassment in a legal letter sent earlier this year. Mr. Cohen was Miss Glanville's boss at the time and exercised complete and total control over her career. This was an extraordinary abuse of power that left Miss Glanville feeling trapped and disgusted, and it is inconceivable that Mr. Cohen remains in his post in spite of this behavior and harkens back to the bad old days of Matt Lauer and NBC News when profits were prioritized over people. But in her own statement, amid the release of the alleged video of Andy, Brandi accused the Watch What Happens Live host of preying on Bravo talent and claimed that he pressured her to hook up with Southern Charm star Austin Kroll. I said pray because the more desperate you are for money and a check, the more he mistreats you and gets you to do and say things that he would never probably say to any other housewives. This is my boss. Like, this has been my job for 13 years. So I treat it like that, a job. He's in charge of whether I can put food on the table or not. And people think I'm rich. The more desperate you are for money in a check, the more he mistreats you. I'm not rich. Other housewives are rich. I literally live check to check. It's gross. The whole thing is gross. I feel like I'm like a Bravo side chick and they can take advantage of me and then be like, you're canceled now. We can do whatever we want to you because you're a nobody. Now, in addition to her claims against Andy and Bravo, Brandi has also been on the receiving end of accusations with her Ultimate Girls Trip co star Caroline Manzo, suggesting that she groped and kissed her without permission in a case that she filed against the network back in January. Um, Talk about not good. This is not going your way. I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch. Like, so her lawyers ended up coming out of it, which I'm wondering they backed out. They dropped the case. I'm wondering if that means that they were pro bono. They didn't think they could win the case. She thinks that they were paid off, like what the real situation was. But unless one of the lawyers or attorneys, which is the same fucking thing, but I'll get shit for it. Unless they step up and they talk about it, I don't think that we're actually going to know what happened. But speaking of bad breakups, we have to talk about this one too. Kristen Cavallari, obviously, we know her from The Hills and also Laguna Beach. Well, she rose to fame as a cast member of both of those shows, and she announced that she broke up with her boyfriend, Mark, who's 24. She's 37, he's 24, and this came less than 1 month after she admitted that she was having the best sex of her life with him. Kristen and Mark were together for 7 months before she ended things with him, and before this, she was married from 2013 to 2022. She has three kids from this marriage, and according to Us Weekly, Kristen opened up about the breakup on the October 1st episode of the podcast, which is called Let's Be Honest. In a nutshell, she blames their age difference. She said, it's hard because I broke up with Mark because I just know long term it's not right. It's not because of love lost or something bad happened. No one cheated. No one was mean. No one did anything. Those breakups are always the hardest, I think, because it's almost easier if the guy does something that makes you hate him. She said, Mark has been nothing but so sweet and so supportive, and he's always been there. He's been the best boyfriend I've ever had. I just know long term, he needs to experience life. Now, she then went on to explain how crucial a person's early 20s are to their development, saying, I started to feel the age a little bit just with life experience. I look back when I was 24 and how much life has happened for me in between those are crucial years. They're formative years. This is when you find yourself. He needs to be able to do that. She also then addressed critics that she knows she'll have regarding becoming involved with a much younger man. And she said she's always been well aware that he is 24. It wasn't like I was ignoring the fact that he was younger. I really look at our relationship as such a beautiful relationship, probably the best relationship of my life. Quite honestly, it was very healthy, very mature. It was nothing but sweet, loving, and Mark is a really good guy, and that's what makes it hard. I actually think one day he will thank me. That's just hindsight. You don't have at 24. Everything is so focused right now when you're 24. Mm. She said, Mark is someone that I would really love to have in my life in some capacity. I do care a lot about him. My kids like him. He has the whole world ahead of him. Now, currently, she has no interest in jumping back into the dating pond. She said her life is really full with her kids and her career. But according to page 6, it wasn't long ago that Kristen was accused. Well, this was after discussing her sex life with Mark. It was in a podcast. She said, I think a lot of things, I think sex for women just get better as you get older because I think women, when you're in your early 20s and stuff, you're insecure in a lot of ways and you're worried about what your body might look like and blah, blah, blah. But Mark was on this episode and she said, I've let all of that go. And I think that I'm more present physically during sex than I've ever been. And I'm so wildly attracted to you. And I just think that we have really hot sex. And then he said the same thing about her. And Kristen said, I actually didn't know that. You've never said that to me. We've talked about how great our sex is, but you've never like point blank said you're the best. And I would have remembered that one. Well, now he did. So I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section, please. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Let me know what you think about Brandi Glanville. And yeah, I'm going to post this into a poll. Love you guys.